believe in magic. Over the centuries, these magical gems, called the Miraculous, have been granted to the greatest heroes. They possess the ultimate power, one even stronger than death.
Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our channel Paws On Animation and another Paws on Netflix.
Today we're covering the new Miraculous movie on Netflix.
This movie serves as a retelling reboot of the series and giving a new origin story of how Ladybug and Cat Noir become Paris heroes, also known as Disney Screwed It Up.
Oh! And before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and click notification buttons on future podcasts and World of Paws videos.
Absolutely.
Now, quickly have to say, we do know there are going to be some people that do like this version of the story and do like the movie, regardless of how they feel about the TV series as a whole or how it's changed its writing in the latter seasons. Please know and take our review with a grain of salt. This is just how we personally feel watching as fans, and you are more than welcome to tell how you saw the movie differently.
Yes.
So go now.
That being said, they claim that this movie was written by Jeremy Zag, directed by Jeremy Zag, screenplay by Jeremy Zag and Bettina Lopez Mendoza, story by Jeremy Zag, produced by Jeremy Zag.
What did he not do?
Music by Jeremy Zag. And
He just everything. Who else was in here?
this movie running time is 102 minutes. It actually was released in the theaters, not in America. And it earned $17.4 million, but it took $86 million to produce it.
Mm-hmm.
Now that being said, we quickly want to say we have done a podcast on Miraculous Ladybug and Cat Noir series up through season 3 prior to Disney obtaining the rights. We absolutely loved it up to season 3. We've seen season 4, which had a great cliffhanger, and we're going to watch season 5. We were excited about this movie when we first heard it announced. We were still excited when we saw the first trailer. Upon seeing the second trailer, the excitement began to
wane.
And now that we've seen the movie, this is nothing like the series. Now, quickly again, we know there are going to be some of you that say, well, Pokemon and other franchises make movies that are different from the product. That is true. But with this, it is so different, it's not even Miraculous Ladybug and Cat Noir.
Right. And you can tell this is more of a, not a what if, but since it's a retelling / reboot in a way, this is kind of like how, if you've seen our podcast for Tiger and Bunny, the manga, and how it was different from the anime, we said that it looked like it was an alternate take if Sunrise was in charge and they had this story about Barnaby. Well, this one is in a different ways. Disney already has the rights to the Miraculous series and already has input on the writing and everything. So I guess this is like if Disney wrote Miraculous Ladybug from the beginning, because they only got to change what was made later on and why it was like 2 different shows between then and now. This time, the movie was altered altogether to be a sort of what if Disney made Miraculous from the start? What if this was a Disney product from the beginning? Because when you watch it, it does feel like you're watching a classic Disney movie, which is what a lot of people were getting, especially with the fact that this movie has
Too many songs.
Songs in it.
It's just too many songs. It's more like a musical.
Yeah, it's
And
a musical now.
The songs are clearly Disney songs. I think I might have been okay with it if they were original sounding and different and standing out, like with Loud Loud Crocodile.
Right.
That would have worked, but they were just generic Disney songs. I'm sorry. There was no substance to them. There was nothing that made you feel or resonate with the character or empathize. Nothing. You would just listen to this person sing and just waited for them to get through the song to get to the next scene.
Right.
And that's not how it should be when you're hearing songs in a movie. And unfortunately, that's how it was for me. For every single song that was in this movie, there was not one catchy, standout, blockbuster, hit song in this movie because they were all just the standard Disney fare.
The closest one they got to it was Hawkmoth's song. Yes, Hawkmoth has a song in this. And what kind of throws you off about it is the fact that when you listen to it and you watch the visuals, it's like they combine Scar's Be Prepared song and Dr. Facilier's Friends on the Other Side and meshed them together and made Hawkmoth's song. Because you watch it and only those two movies are what you're thinking of when you see the sequence.
And to add insult to injury, they didn't even allow Christina V and Bryce Papenbrook to sing their own songs like they've done in the series. They were replaced by other people. Drew Ryan Scott sang for Adrian, and
yes, it's so weird because they've sang before.
It says Lou provides Marinette's singing voice, and we don't understand why, because they've done a little bit of singing in a couple episodes, and they sounded great. It's like Disney said, you're not good enough. Or they didn't want to pay them to do the singing voice, which makes no sense.
Yeah, and they sang in that Christmas special that you've heard. So if that did well, then why not just let them sing again? You already got the same voice cast from the original show. But, like I said, I think they only changed, Chloe? I think they changed Chloe out. But, yeah, it makes no sense to change them, and they're right there.
So, clearly they didn't want to play them to sing on the soundtrack. That's soundtrack, I'm sorry. That's basically what it seems like. They wanted to get people that they probably have contracted to them through France, through Disney.
Yeah.
And they didn't want them, and, to me, that's just like a slap in the face. To the fans who are English speaking, maybe they should have had one for France and then another for English speaking countries.
Right.
But no, Disney's not going to do that. So, I'm sorry, this is not a Bash Disney podcast. It's just us voicing our concerns and the things that we thought just didn't work, should have been better, could have been better.
Yeah.
Because prior to this movie, this series was outstanding. And seasons 1 through 3, you could see it was getting better, going a more dramatic direction. We're going to get some real exciting storylines and episodes. And then it got to season 4, and it was just a whole different series.
Right.
And this movie matches Disney season 4 and Disney season 5.
Yeah,
it really
exactly.
Does.
And with this one, they kind of, as you said, retell the story. Like, you got a two-parter in the show on how they got the Miraculous, and they were chosen to be heroes. But the way it's done in the movie is a lot more cliched. Like, they almost talk about like a prophecy of chosen ones, and they keep saying Marinette's the chosen one. Adrian's supposed to be a chosen one too, but the movie kind of ignores him for a lot of the time. And we thought it was odd in the trailer, maybe that's just how they edited it. The movie really focuses way more on Marinette, way more than Adrian. It's like Adrian is second banana at this point, because it's both of them working together. They keep making emphasis on stronger together, need to work together as a team, yet they argue for the first half of the movie because they can't stand each other in the beginning, which is completely new. And then the second half of the movie, you got them falling for each other, but you can't because they like each other, but without the mask, and it's driving you insane with that, how long that's dragging on. But I don't really like that they've reduced Cat Noir's role to being just comedy and nothing else. Like, he can't fight and he can't stand on his own.
There was no substance, he had no intelligence, he had no dramatic parts. And in the series, seasons 1 through 3, both of these voice actors had a range of emotions that came through clearly in the characters, depending on the episode and what the theme was for each episode. They did fantastic. But this, it was just one note.
Right.
One note. Comedy, 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 comedy.
And then
that's all it was.
And then suddenly near the end, big drama. Like, they just remembered, wait a minute, we're supposed to make this a drama, too. And then all of a sudden, all the darkness came in. It was like,
but it's still
whiplash.
Sorry, it still failed on that level as well. We've gotten better drama in seasons 1 through 3. And again, admittedly, at the end of season 4, in the last 2 episodes, than we got in this movie. So clearly Disney meant this to be something totally different, and in that they succeeded.
Yeah.
Now we can be grateful that the majority of the English cast returned. Christina V, Bryce Papenbrook, Keith Silverstein, Max Middleman, Zeno Robinson, Colleen O'Shaughnessy, but Benjamin Diskin was replaced by Lauren Amante as Nuru, with no explanation. Kira Buckland, and I'm not sure if Paul St. Peter was Wayne Fu before. Do you remember?
I think so, because he sounded about the same as he did before.
Okay.
They just made him sound a little crazier in here than seeming that he may be a crazy old guy and he's not.
We can be grateful for that. And again, it seems like the biggest purpose of this movie for Disney was to promote a soundtrack that they clearly thought was going to be a chart topper all around the world.
Yeah.
The problem is, again, the movie has no substance and the songs have no substance. We're not saying the music doesn't sound good, and we're not saying that the singers can't sing. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is that all of the songs are generic and there's nothing memorable about them. They're so unmemorable that I can't tell you one song that stood out.
Yeah.
They all
really
sounded the same. Again, that's no insult to the singers and no insult to the musicians. But Disney clearly wanted to put their Disney stamp on it and wanted to be formulaic, and again, they succeeded in that.
And it's so weird that they did not want to pay the regular English cast to sing when they paid for the Volkswagen car to be in the movie. And we're not making this up. This has become a new thing Disney has done, where they're partnering with every single car company imaginable for a particular character or superhero to have their own signature car that they like to drive. And here, for some reason, Ladybug and Cat Noir have Volkswagens, even though neither of them drive. I don't know why. They just got it. So the best thing I can say about it is the animation. Everything really looked colorful. It looked really fluid. It had a lot of atmosphere to it. That's probably the best animation it's gotten in the whole franchise.
And that was provided by Media One subsidiary On Animation Studios in Montreal, Canada.
Right.
So, yeah, they're really good at the animation. We have to say that positively. Now, here's something interesting. The movie didn't do well. All around the world, it did not do well.
Yeah.
The tickets didn't sell well. And interestingly, Disney blames the drop and the reviews and the performance on mixed word of mouth from the audiences. Guess what?
Mixed word of
Everyone
mouth.
has a right to their opinion, as we stated at the beginning of this podcast. You can't blame people who don't care for it not doing well, because the people who love it and the people who like it will give it positive word of mouth, and that works for anything that comes out. It's the same way for everything.
Yeah,
so,
pretty much. So
no.
You're gonna blame certain fans who did not like it on the movie not doing well when there's more than just people who didn't like it. That's impossible for that to happen. It's like, I guess they wanted a unanimous positive review from all across the board.
Now, what's interesting is the Parisians movie team gave it a positive review, saying that Paris is still the heart of Miraculous, which we do love as well. But interestingly, one of the writers stated that the story loses a bit of its soul by flirting with Disney, which is exactly what we're saying. You can tell that the core of what this series has always been about has completely changed for this movie, and it's no longer Miraculous Ladybug and Cat Noir. It's something different. It's a Disney musical in the tones of Beauty and the Beast and other musicals they've done. And I think if they were going to do that, maybe they should have taken them out of the superhero atmosphere
Right.
and put them in a different environment
where they're still
and
like
made it an
civilians.
alternate AU. And then they could have made it a romance or something.
You would have
And
been
then
fine
it
with
would have
that.
been accepted as that because it would be like, wow, this is different. Oh, we finally get to see our ship couple together. Hooray! But when you try to force all of that in this movie that's supposed to be a superhero movie, and it isn't.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
is what you get.
All
We don't care what Rotten Tomatoes says because we think they are
bought out.
they've been compromised. But even Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 40% rating.
Wow, go figure.
So, for those of you who do love it, let us know why in the comments below. What is it you think we're missing having watched this movie that you have appreciated? We really love to know. And also, what did you think of the visual differences in both Marionette and Adrian?
Yeah.
Clearly they look different, especially Chloe.
Yeah, I think they're meant to look younger or Western, which is odd because they're all 13, I think, 13 and 14. I can't tell what was the purpose behind changing the faces because they look kind of off a lot of times when you watch it until you just get used to it.
And also, to both Liesse, and I'm probably pronouncing this incorrectly, forgive me, Les Dernières Nouvelles d'Alsace, gave it 3 stars out of 5 and said also, similar to what we said, that this gives a film with a very curious rhythm which forces its story a little, but which leaves time for the characters to pour out their feelings in too many songs. And that was really a big problem for this movie. And it's similar to the Gen 5 MLP, too many songs.
Yeah.
We were watching this, as we always have, for action, adventure, superhero activity, and some romance and, rom-com blended in. But this, again, became a musical and something totally different.
Right.
And for that reason, for us, this movie didn't work. We were so excited. We also were excited about the other movies that had been announced that were taking place around the world.
Yes, the other
including in Africa, in London, in Brazil.
Right, the Miraculous World specials.
But obviously, at this point, nothing's being mentioned since Disney's obtained it. This is what they gave us, and I don't think we're going to see those movies anytime soon. I hope I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong and they do come out, I hope they're not like this.
Yeah.
Because then it's just going to be failure after failure after failure. And if the point of getting this franchise was to make money, then they should have continued giving the fans what we love about this series instead of giving us what they want it to be that conforms to their formula.
Right.
And with that, there's not really anything
left to
to
say.
say.
All we
I'm
know.
really grateful the voice actors were still there. Love them. And I'm grateful that they didn't switch those out and decide to get some other voice actors who were more contracted with Disney.
Right.
Or
And
another French company or a Canadian company.
right. And it looks like we're beginning a sequel with what the post and mid-credit scene shows, which did a little something different from the show. It looks like we will be getting a sequel to this regardless of how it does.
Well, that's the Disney way, and that should have been expected. Who knows? Maybe they'll do better next time. I'm not too confident in that statement, but everyone deserves a second chance. So hopefully in the sequel, Disney will do better.
Right.
I say just leave it to the people who were doing it before. You said Zag's name is all over this, but it does not feel, look, or sound, or behave like a Zag movie.
No.
Like the old saying goes, if it walks like a duck and talk like a duck, it's a duck.
Quack.
Movie was a duck. So if you've seen Ladybug and Cat Noir, the movie, as it's known here, let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you haven't, it's available right now on Netflix. Not sure if it's available on Disney Plus, but we saw it on Netflix. And it's described as a French 3D computer animated musical romantic superhero film.
That's a mouthful.
So go see this mouthful and come back and let us know what you think.
And if you haven't already, subscribe for updates and weekly videos, your favorite anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for joining us for this podcast. And again, if you do love it, we are really happy that you do. And again, share your thoughts with us, letting us know what you think we missed in seeing this movie. We always love hearing from you. And the only thing that we don't want to hear is adding at us or being rude or cursing us out, which means we'll just delete the comment.
Right.
But when you talk to us, and just give us your thoughts and tell us how you feel and explain what it is that you find joyful in this, we'll be happy to read it.
So, thank you so much for watching. I'm Rascal Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a toontastic day.
Watch out!
You two have a little secret.
Wait, what? No, it's not what you think.
Yeah, I know.
That got awkward fast.